against hope. Oh, yeah.
Today, there's only one back home, and I mentioned as he showed me that I planned a trip to Rome. And foolishly then I mentioned that all good Catholics hope to venture to the Vatican and get to meet the Pope. Oh, what a silly dream, he sniggered. Has religion turned your head? Go to Mass here on Sunday morning and save yourself the bread. There'll be 50,000 pilgrims breathing garlic in your ear and a figure on some balcony that you'll never get to hear. You've been struck by my wisteria. It's really turned you blind. The rattle of the rosary has eaten out your mind. You'll strut around the pub back home, and every day you'll skite how you saw some dim Italian and you thought his coat was white. Well, he nicked me at the razor, and he would have won some more, but I shoved the money at him and I bolted out the door. And in spite of what he told me, and however strange it looked, I reckon I would go to Rome. Well, I had the ticket booked. So I went, and I enjoyed myself. A real fantastic trip. And on return, I sought that barber's chair to risk another clip. Oh, here's the great world traveller, he chortled with a bow. He'd been to see the Pope, you know. He's much more righteous now. How did you find His Eminence? Come on, don't leave us guessing. Tell all your wretched drinking mates how you earned the papal blessing. So I said, now this might seem boastful and a trifle trite to you, but I went to see the Vatican and I met the Pontiff too. I know it sounds unlikely, but he saw me standing there, me, of all the thousands packed into St. Peter's Square. Well, his piercing eye dwelled on me. I couldn't turn away. He spread his holy benison and murmured, let us pray. Well, we set our paternosters and the crowd began to rise. And again I felt the focus of the Holy Pontiff's eyes. Oh, I stiffened to attention. Now if I started to relax, that fiery gaze burned into me and then stopped me in my tracks. Well, the crowd before me parted like the billows of the sea, and I realised that His Holiness was walking straight to me. Well, he checked his progress now and then, some sinner to embrace, but his point of concentration never shifted from my face. I sank upon the cobblestones. My breath began to wheeze. A little pool of water formed around my quaking knees. Now this is no idle fantasy. 10,000 people saw me. The Holy Prince of Christendom came down and stood before me. He placed his hands upon my head and said, now I kid you not, what a rotten, bloody haircut. That barber should be shot. Thank you. No offence to the Catholic.
You used me up without turning a hair. I tried to escape just to find myself caught up in the same old game. Oh, yeah. You kept me in emotional strain. You gave me nothing but heartache and pain. 5 years I hoped against hope. Oh, yeah. 5 years I hoped against hope. Oh, yeah. I cried for you, and I died for you. No longer I'm gonna be your fool. But now's the time that I'm through with you. One thing is all but certain, 'cause it's true that I'll be over you, over you, over you. That I'll be over you, over you. Oh, some kind of sorrow. So you entrapped yourself inside a bottle, and I proved to you my love so true. No longer I'm gonna be your fool. You may be sure I'm gonna make it through without you, but the one I leave behind is you. I stuck by you, did everything I do. No longer I'm gonna be no fool. You may be sure I'll make it through. The one I leave.
Ain't scratchy phones and burning flames. Bend their hair and clap their hands and come on, girl, ready to play. Let's have it move that swinging today. In the land of Fu Manchu, the girls all down to Susie Q. Clap their hands in the center of the floor, saying ding ding, hop to it, ding dong.
presentation, which it will be regardless of where the project goes. But one of the most exciting ones is that we're working with a company at the moment that build these interactive walls. And this is where I've got to be quick, because if I go down the wrong track, it'll take me all night to explain it. The interactive wall is quite organic in that segments of it can be taken and put at different locations. It can be made so it fits into a container which goes straight in the back of an aircraft and then deposited at any national, international airport terminal in the world.
All right, that's a lot better. Looking good now. Yeah, a bit grubby now. Listen, mate, you just wait here. I'll just grab that brush. I'll only take a minute. Just run the brush over him. Here we go. Give his tummy a go and under his arms there. It's all good. No, oh, not again. Oh, this back's playing up this morning. Listen, just wait there, mate. I'll have to try something else. A bit hard on the back there, so here we go. Give this a go. Here we go. Oh, that's a lot easier. There we go, behind the ears. Here we go. We'll touch up in there. Oh no. Don't tell me. Oh, now I've broke the wife's good broom. Lord. How's she going to get home now? Oh, that's no good at all. Listen, mate, just wait there. We'll try something else. We'll give this a whirl, see if it's... Here we go. All right, here we go. Woo-wee! Oh, that's okay. Oh, that's working the street now. All the dirt off. There we go. Looking a lot better. Woohoo! A bit rough under there. There we go. Look at that. Clean as a whistle. Alright, now we're ready to go. Now the first thing a stockman will do, when he goes out to work on these bigger places, up north here or out west, and especially back in the day, would be to break in 5 or 6 horses he's going to use for the season for the mustering. Now myself, I was brought up very much old school with the horse breaking. My father and his father broke in horses. Before that, my great-grandfather, he was a teamster. Now at one stage he had up to 20 teams of 8 horses pulling big wagons all across the country, a bit like the big wagon at the bottom of the hall there. And I've also got a couple of brothers that break in a lot of thoroughbred horses these days for the racing industry. But as it happened, I was actually born naturally lazy. So I don't have to work at that at all. So I'm always looking for the easiest ways to work with the horses and the other animals for that matter as well. So I work up a pressure and release system, I try and gain my horse's trust, and I try and work with my horses. Now this is a Ernie. Ernie's a quarter horse gelding. Now the way I'm able to riding around without a bridle on, stopping and turning and that sort of thing, is because I've taught my horse to stop when I simply stop riding my horse. So what I'm going to do is run through a bit of basic groundwork that I do with all the horses. When I first get them to break in, whether it be out in the station or back at home, I try and teach them to be ridden on the ground a little bit before I actually get on their backs. It gives them a bit of an idea of what I expect out of them, gives them an idea of what I'm looking for. So I say it all starts from the stop. The first thing I want to teach my horse is to stop. You see, when I get on my horse's back, he's already passed me, you see. So I want my horse to want to stay with me while I'm on his back, rather than try and get away from me. So the way I teach my horse to stop is I get him backing off pressure. So I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on Ernie's nose here. He's backing off that pressure nice and light there. It's when I release the pressure that he stops for me. Now his little reward is just to be left alone. Now as we're working through this process, what I'm actually trying to do is trying to teach this horse to stop when I release pressure or when I simply stop riding my horse. So he's stopping pretty good, but also I want to be able to turn the horse. I'm not just going to go in a straight line everywhere. So I'm going to put the pressure in here, because this is where my leg will be when I'm on the horse. So I can give him a bit of direction with my leg here, got his head tipped around a little bit. I'm behind his eye, which is very important. He's actually travelling on a loose rein, so he's not trying to get away from me. He seems to be happy to stay with me. Now if I take my leg off him, or stop riding my horse should stop for me. Now I've got to teach my horse on both sides, because the horses have 2 sides of the brain. So we're going to roll him around now, just bring him over here a bit, on what we call the offside. That's a term we get from the old bullickies and teamsters, always had that offside with them. And you'll often hear old fellas say, oh, that horse he's a bit one-sided, which means he isn't quite educated the same on both sides. So again, I'll take my leg off, or stop riding my horse, and my horse should stop for me. So when I get my horse up to this stage, when he's stopping and turning, and nice and relaxed, I like to have the horses nice and relaxed, that's when I put the groundwork into practice, saddle the horse up, and give him a ride round. So I'm going to take that next step right now. I'm going to quickly saddle Ernie up and give him a ride round, just using this pressure and release sort of a setup here. So just bear with me here. Here we go. I've got the saddle cloth here. Now that protects the horse from the saddle and protects the saddle a bit from the horse as well. That goes on first, just like that. Here we go. And then the saddle goes straight. Whoa, hang on a sec. What's happening? Oh, sorry about that. Had trouble with the wind here yesterday too, blowing things all over the place. Alright, so that goes on. Alright, well, you can see what's going on here now. I'm pretty sure Mr. Ernie here is trying to tell me that he doesn't want the saddle on. He's making it very clear. It's alright then. As I said earlier, I like to work with the horses, so if he doesn't want the saddle on, well, so be it. We won't worry about the saddle. But I can't just let him get away with it, of course. That'd be spoiling my horse. So I'll still ride him round, but I'll just do it bareback. Now, I've ridden plenty of horses bareback before. Sometimes I'll even ride them bareback before I put the saddle on them. It just lets me see him above them and gives them an idea of what I'm after. So I'll just quickly hop on him bareback and ride him round, just with this pressure release sort of a, whoa, hang on a minute. This is no good. Ernie, oh no. Oh, listen, I'm really sorry about this. He's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works here. I might have to just change things around momentarily. Maybe I should work on some trust issues with this horse, might be a good idea. You see, horses are a prey animal and we're the predator. So just to be above Ernie, you'd think he'd have his heart rate up and racing. So I've actually got to have a certain amount of trust in my horse, and he's got to have a certain amount of trust in me. And what I like to do is test that trust out a little bit along the way. So I've actually got an old picnic blanket here. Now, it's just an ordinary old picnic blanket, but it would be a foreign object to the horse. So what I thought I might do is throw this over the top of Ernie and just see what sort of reaction I get out of him. I don't want to scare my horse, because horses are also a flight animal. And their natural instinct, if they get a fright, is just to take off flat out. When they think they're far enough away from danger, then they look back to see what they're running from. So we don't want any danger, we don't want him taking off anywhere. I just want to see if he'll be relaxed enough and trust me enough, mainly, to see if he'll let me land this blanket over the top of him. So we'll see how we go. He looks fairly relaxed there. Work, mate, work. Right. Work. Give it a go. Here we go. Good boy. Uh-oh, hang on a minute. Okay. I think Ernie might have had a big night last night. He's probably down at that RSL club again. Listen, I'll get the whip and we'll get him up and get him out of the road. We'll have to get the whip. Of course, I'm not going to flog him with the whip. Not while you guys are watching anyway. No, I'll just make a bit of noise up here and see if we can get him up. Here we go. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, we'll get him out of the road. He's going to be no good to us at all. Hey, Ernie. Oh, no. Oh, listen, I don't know what to do with him now. Come on, Ernie. Go and sleep it off somewhere else. Come on, quick. Oh, that's no good. Listen, we might just have to leave him there. Just ignore him. Pretend he's not there. We'll get on with the show. Yeah, he's only going to hold us up all day if we don't get on with it. All right, well, the stockmen go out working on these properties, working side by side for months at a time, looking after all the livestock and doing all the stock work. But they do become very competitive when the bush rodeos come to town, the carnivals and gymkhanas. Now, camp drafting, Australia's own horse sport they call the camp drafting, man on horse against beast, all the stockmen competing against each other. There's also these things around called stockmen's challenges. Now, a stockman's challenge is run over 3 days. 8 events over 3 days, and it highlights the skills of a stockman. Now, I was lucky enough to win one of these events, a little place called Murrurundi in the Hunter Valley. It was called the King of the Ranges down there. Anyway, the next year, they rang me for an interview on the phone and asked me all these questions. Now, a lot of the questions I didn't have answers for. They asked me things like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's your 5-year plan? What do you see yourself doing down the track and that sort of thing? And I hadn't thought about any of that sort of stuff. But it did get me to thinking, we don't have to be super high achievers or millionaires. In this great country that we live in, there's so much opportunity for young people these days, different things to do, and living your dream might be just tripping around, seeing a few shows and meeting a few different people. So I write a bit of music, and I wrote a song shortly after that, simply called Living the Dream. So we're going to give that a run. Now, I might even have a seat while I do this, so you are sitting down. Here we go, Living the Dream. Off there. Somebody asked me the other day, what's my ambitions, I'm on my way. Just for a moment I didn't know what to say. Every thought that ran through my mind was right in front of me at the time. The answer my head just couldn't find. See, I got a great little family and friends that keep me company, and from day to day I'm never sure where I'll be. I didn't want to sound smart, but it's a lifestyle that keeps me keen. Take a look around, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream. Yeah, I'm living the dream. look around, I'm living the dream. Well, there's a young fellow working at the diesel co. He's gonna finish his apprenticeship and save some dough. Then he'll hit the road, only 3 months to go. He said he's gonna head up north for a while. Can't wait for the day he can make a mile and maybe find a girl to give him that certain smile. He's got a V8 Ute, she's loaded just right. On the bull bar sits the driving lights. Put a 6-stacker in her, he works on her every night. He'll miss mom and dad and the footy team, but it's something you gotta do, or so it seems. Take a look around, the boy's living the dream. He's living the dream. Yeah, living the dream. He's living the dream. Won't you take a look around? He's living the dream. Now old folks ain't about sitting around. They sneak around from town to town. Come the start of May, you'll see them all northbound. Grab an RV or a caravan and join the Grey Army when you can. There's plenty to see across this big wide land. Stop here a while and we'll check the load. Have a cup of tea by the side of the road. It's back in the car, we're all ready to go. Sip a little wine by the firelight. Look up at the stars, what a beautiful sight. Take a look around, they're all living the dream. They're living the dream. Yeah, living the dream. They're all living the dream. Won't you take a look around? They're living the dream. I'm living the dream. Yeah, I'm living the dream. We're all living the dream. Won't you take a look around? We're living the dream. There we go. Hope we're all living the dream, of course. I pulled up for a feed for fuel about 400 miles from home. Been gone this time about 18 months, just working around on my own. The young man in the truck stop, you know I'd seen his face before. Where you going? Looks like you're running away. He said I couldn't stay in that town, not for another day. Nothing ever happens, nothing ever changes, nothing to keep me there. I said, hey, I know that feeling, but I've got something to share. I like to roam when I can. I like to roll my swag and head out across this big wide land. I like to roam, hey, I like to roam. But I get a special feeling when I'm heading home. There's not much to do in our little town, I'll grant you that. There'll be days when you're on the road, busted, broken, flat. There'll be days when you're feeling low and all alone. They're the days you'll find yourself thinking about heading home. I like to roam when I can. I like to roll my swag and head out across this big wide land. I like to roam, hey, I like to roam. But I get a special feeling when I'm heading home. I just can't beat that feeling when I turn my head for home. Now, if anyone in the class thinks they're stupid, stand up. Anyway, no one stood up, not a single soul. But then after a while, Frankie stood up. She said, oh, Frankie, do you think you're stupid? He said, no, I don't. He said, I just felt sorry for you standing up there by yourself. He said, oh, here he is. All right, this is Jigsaw. Now, Jigsaw's by a Brahman bull. He's 12 years old now, Jigsaw. And last year I was actually over in South Australia doing some shows. I was over at a little place called Strathalbyn. Anyway, I was just riding down the street there, riding into town, actually doing some promo stuff, and I was trying not to draw too much attention to myself, of course. And, I rode him over the weighbridge, and he was 1,140 kilos with me in the saddle on, so he's a bit over a ton of beef, this fella. All right, now I've got a song here. Now I mentioned my daughters, 3 girls, so featuring the night show over there a bit. The youngest one, Hannah, she's 12 years old. Hardly any trouble at all, really, because then I've got Abby 16 and Shannon 17. So 2 teenagers at the moment. Having a wow of a time with them little darlings, I can tell you as well. No, they're all little beauties. They're all little beauties. And this song's very self-explanatory. I'm sure you'll get the gist of it as it goes along. Simply called No Cowboys. Here we go. I watch my little girls walking down the street. I just shake my head. I hope they know I'm proud of them. They mean the world to me. Things like that often go unsaid. Now as they head into the world, don't forget they're still my little girl. Pretty soon I'll face reality when the boyfriend's coming around to visit me. And I don't care if he sells used cars or puts the labels on jam jars, a panel beater or a plant operator. Won't worry me if he's a kitchen hand, gas fitter or a handyman. Don't even care if he's a cake decorator. But if he wears a big black hat and boots, dreams of a riding bull, drives a ute, I know he's gonna promise you the world. But I've got one little rule for all my girls. No cowboys, no cowboys. We don't want no cowboys round here. No cowboys, no cowboys. Laying about here drinking all my beer. Well, let's just say you hook up with a jeweler, joiner or journalist, safety inspector or a debt collector. He might be a teacher, picture framer or dog trainer. God forbid he might be an entertainer. But if he wears a big black hat and boots, dreams of riding bulls, drives the ute, I know he's gonna promise you the world. But I've got one little rule for all my girls. No cowboys, no cowboys. We don't want no cowboys round here. No cowboys, no cowboys. Laying about here drinking all my beer. No cowboys, no cowboys. Don't want to spend my time wiping up those tears. 'Cause I grant you they can be a lot of fun. But if you need a second opinion as your mom, no cowboy. There we go. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for coming out this morning. I'm just going to